Hi, everybody. This is Coach Allison back with week 32, Defy Aging. I hope everyone enjoyed the supersets last week. So we are going to actually have one superset involved this week. What we're going to do is start out with a superset in your own space for 3 rounds, very similar to what we did last week. And then after everyone's done with that, people will get done at about the same time. We're going to go into a standard circuit rotating around the turf. That's going to be 3 rounds of 6 exercises, 30 seconds on, 40 seconds off. The superset we're going to start with this week is we did back last week, we did legs, lower body, and we did some chest and triceps. But what we didn't target is the shoulders. So we're going to start out with a shoulder superset this week. And all the reps for everything on that is 10. And I'll remind you of that in the demonstration. So speaking of, let's do some demos. All right, exercise 1 of the superset for shoulders is our standard overhead press. It's nothing new, unless you are new with us and haven't done this yet, but we do this all the time. It's very standard. Both arms at the same time. Just look at, I like to stagger my stance like this. That can help you feel a little more sturdy, as opposed to kind of being tempted to lean back like this. Taking that back leg back into a staggered stance can sort of help resist the urge to want to lean. But that is our overhead press, and it is for 10 reps. I do recommend picking a weight that might be one weight down from what you normally choose, because we're really hitting the shoulders hard in a very short time, so they're going to fatigue out pretty quickly. So maybe have 2 sets of weights nearby, or choose the weight lower than normal. But anyway, 10 reps. The second exercise for the shoulder superset is our kettlebell halo, another one that we do quite often. This is also 10 reps, 5 each direction. So I'll leave it up to you if you prefer to do all 5 one way and then switch and do all 5 the other way, or if you want to alternate with each rep. It really doesn't matter. That can be your own choice. So we go bottoms up with the kettlebell, hold it at the base of the handle, and the halo looks like this. We go around the head, right back to where we start. Now, if I was going to keep going in this direction, it would look like this. You just keep it moving. If you're going to choose to alternate, you would stop here at the chest, go the other direction for the next rep, stop at the chest, and keep alternating like that. So that is up to you. A couple things to keep in mind. I just happened to hold it back here because it felt good, like a nice little stretch, but this is a good place to start. When it's behind your head, you want it to drop low, like this. So look out for keeping it too high, like up here. And it's not a safety issue. However, if you get it lower, we're going to be getting more mobility, range of motion, all of that. And you also want to keep it tight into the head. So it does kind of mess up the hair a little bit. Okay, like see how I'm keeping it close into my head? Arms aren't too straight way out here. So low and tight is kind of what you want to think about for this. So anyway, that's our second exercise for the superset, 10 reps. All right, so that was our superset. Now we're going to move into our rotation on the turf, 6 stations here. The first one is an elevated squat, heels elevated squat. So it has your heels elevated a little bit, it's right in the name, but it targets the fronts of your legs, the quads, the thighs a little bit more than a regular squat. It's going to feel a little different. So some of the clubs have these ramps. If so, your coach can have those set up in the space, and I'll show you how to use that. And if we either don't have those, or if there's multiple people at one station, you can also use weight plates to elevate your heels, and I'll show you both. So there's 2 of them. You put them about, hip width apart, and all you need is step your heel a little bit onto the base of it, maybe 3 to 4 inches up. We're not standing all the way on it like this. Your whole foot isn't on it. You do want the ball of your foot and your toes on the floor. That's very important, because we're just going for a little elevation of the heel. From there, we go into the body mechanics of a normal squat. However, it's going to feel quite different. You might be kind of tempted to do this. So you want to be sure we're still getting the hips back, kind of sitting in that imaginary chair. You wouldn't sit in the chair like that, right? Keeping those knees, they don't have to stay 100% behind the toes. That's kind of a myth, but we do want to make sure we're keeping the heels connected to the base. So we never want to let the heel raise like that. All of that said, you'll feel your thighs a little bit more. And that's how you do that. Again, the weight plates, if the clubs don't have those, you grab two with the 25 pounders is kind of a good height. It's about 1.5 inches or 2 inches up. Same, I'm trying to find a good angle where you can see my heels. Same concept. You just step the very base of the heel onto that plate. You want to make sure you're not standing too much on it so that your toes come off the floor. Now I'm just flat-footed, but standing on the plates. So again, just the tip of the heel, enough to get your heel off the floor. And we do that same squat. All right, that's kind of a longer demo for that one, but a couple of options. 30 seconds on, 40 seconds off for all of this stuff. Let's move on. Next station is a back exercise. It's a dumbbell wide row. We have done this before, but we don't do it all too often. So we're going to, I'll grab it with weights in a minute, but just because I want to show you in slow motion here, we're going for a wide movement as opposed to a typical row is kind of narrow. We keep our arms in close like this, but now it'll be palms turned back. Okay. And we want to come out, we want to flare the elbows out wide. So you see my body position here, my arms, or think of like making a 90-degree angle here, and you're kind of making a square if you see the position of both arms up at the same time. So as with any row, we're in that 45-degree body position with the hips back. So we're not just slouching down like this. Okay, so pop the hips back. Body is about 45 degrees. And considering this is a tougher version of a row, similar to what I noted with the shoulder press, I would suggest going lighter than if we were to do our standard row with the narrow. This is harder, so I recommend going a little bit lighter. Okay, I got my weights, I got my body position set. Come up and out, and then back down. Up and out. But when you do this, it's important to remember not to shrug and kind of do that. So keep the shoulders away from the ears, like you're pushing your shoulders down towards your hips. The elbows just flare outward. See that? Trying to show different body positions. So it does feel pretty different. It's a little bit heavier. It's still a back exercise. You're going to get a little more of your delt, back of the shoulder involved in that. So let's give our wide row a try this week. Station 3, your coach will demonstrate, because it's going to be a battle rope, but I'm going to have it be coach's choice or a variety. You might do the same variety for all 3 rounds. The coach might have you do a different variety for each of the 3 rounds, and they might do ones that I've never demonstrated before, something different. There's all sorts, the standard is double arm up and down and the alternating, but we might get creative and do some other stuff. Again, coach's choice, but battle rope is station 3. Station 4, we're going to do some reverse lunges. We're going to do overhead reverse lunges. Another one that we've done here and there, but not too often. So our standard reverse lunge, take out the overhead component for a moment, looks like this. We step back, so you're lunging reverse, you're lunging back, alternating legs with each rep. That back foot should stay angled forward. Don't let the toe turn out like that. That's very important for the knee and hip safety alignment. Roll up to the back toe. If we try to force the heel down, then you can't bend your knee. So we want to make sure we're not just stepping back like this, keeping the leg straight. You step back, but then you bend the knee as close to the floor as you can. That'll be different for everybody. Keep your back up tall. And the next step actually will help you keep your back up tall. The overhead component. You put the arms overhead, palms facing inward. Try to get your arms as close into your head as your mobility allows. So some people might be more out here. Wherever your arms are here, I want straight elbows though. So we're trying to avoid this. Okay. So again, whether your arms are maybe more of a Y or straight up and down, straighten out those elbows. From here, we do the reverse lunges alternating just like I demonstrated a second ago. Make sure we're not leaning forward like this. So always keep those fingertips up towards the ceiling. And yeah, it's going to challenge your shoulders simply by having the arms up. It's going to fatigue those shoulders by keeping that contraction, holding the arms up. Adds a little more challenge to the balance. And I know reverse lunges are already a little bit of balance. So this does add just a little bit more intensity there. If that's not an option for either a shoulder restriction, or maybe the balance is just really not agreeing with you with that one, we can switch it to a goblet reverse lunge, so hold a kettlebell at your chest. Yes, it's very different, but it still activates, it gets a little bit of shoulder involved because when you hold a goblet style kettlebell, your shoulders are activated as well. So that's another option. And you can always go, if lunges are brand new to you, you might want to start standard reverse lunge, arms down at your sides or at your waist to get used to the movement. So everyone's going to be at their own level. Let's give them a try. Oh boy, next station, it's a burpee with a plank jack. So this will be our cardio station, of course. You can do burpees on the floor or on an elevation. And you can do all sorts of combinations or variations of jumping or stepping with this. So there's going to be a lot of options here for everybody. So a full burpee without the plank jack is this: hands down, jump back, jump in, jump up, or on an incline, of course, it's the same. Jump back, jump in, jump up. Okay. We're going to add the plank jack to it. So I'm in a really tight little corner here. So we go down, jump back, so you're in that plank position. Now do an out, in plank jack before you come up. I'll show you the incline version of that. Same exact thing, just on an incline. Hands down, jump back, out, in, and up. Jump back, jump out, jump in. Okay. Now, if someone is taking out some of those jumps, I'm going to show you on the incline because it's easier to talk while I do it. You can take out all of the jumps and everything is either a step or a toe tap. That would look like this. You step back, tap out, step in. For some people, the jumps out and in, well, back and forward, I should say, might be a little much, but the plank jack's a little bit lighter. So you can choose to maybe step back, but then do the plank jack and step in. Always reach the arms up between each rep. You can do any combination of the steps and the jumps that you need to for maybe knees or anything like that. This one has a little bit of coordination because we're jumping back and out, in, and forward, so a little coordination there. Heart rate's going to get up. And again, floor or incline, whatever's appropriate for you. But just be careful of the hips not being too high. So if you're doing the incline, make sure we're not kind of like keeping the hips like this. You want to be in that plank position, that nice level straight line from your head to your heels. Keep that in mind. All right, good luck with this one. That'll be our cardio station. Last but not least, station 6 is the medicine ball chest press. Okay. So typically a chest press is 2 dumbbells like this, right? We're going to use one of these slam balls. Now, you might be thinking, I have to hold my head up, that the heaviest slam ball you have still doesn't equal the total weight you might use with dumbbells. Let's say you typically use the 15s for your presses, which is a total of 30 pounds, and we don't have a 30-pound slam ball. That's okay, because the way we're holding the ball and the way the ball is sort of used as a tool here makes the exercise a little harder. So the weight being lighter is okay. What you want to make sure you're doing is grabbing the outsides of the ball. So you have to sort of squeeze inward to hold onto the ball. And then from here we go up and down over the chest. Make sure you're not going over the face, like this. So make sure it is lined up directly over your chest. Am I at a good angle? Okay, and again, what we're not doing is going underneath the ball. See how I'm wiggling my fingers and we're not just balancing the ball on the hands. Instead, again, we're going to the outside, so you have to push pressure. This is only a 6-pound ball, so it shouldn't hurt too much. I'm putting myself in the line to demonstrate something for you. If I wasn't pressing inward and this just fell, so that shows you that you're not just balancing it on your hands, you're pressing in. That did not feel super great. Okay, so that's our medicine ball chest press. Anyone staying off the floor can do this on an incline bench. You would be like at this angle and just pressing it straight up. That was really hard to do. You wouldn't do that on the floor, but you would be on an incline bench, so you don't have to be on the floor. But yeah, you can still pick the heaviest ball we have, but again, it's that holding it like this that makes the extra challenge. So let's give that one a try. And our team builder. Okay, we have a partner hand plank clap. I forgot what I called it. We've done this one before. Yeah, partner plank claps. Okay, you're gonna be face to face with your partner. If there's an odd number of people, our coach will partner up with somebody, and You don't both have to be doing toes or knees. One person can be on toes, one person can be on knees. Where it does get tricky is if people need an incline plank, that's totally fine. You just will be with a partner that also needs an incline plank, so they are at your same level, and you'll put your benches or your boxes, So I would be still face to face with my partner on an incline. That's totally fine. Otherwise, if you're on the floor, high plank is like this. Make sure your butt's not up in the air. Knee plank looks like this. Same thing. Hips are level, so I'm not just in a tabletop like this. Hips have to be down in order for it to be a plank and engage those abs. From here, if you're on your feet, I suggest putting your feet very wide. You're face to face with your partner, and you clap hands like this. Okay? We're going to time that for 30 seconds. Count how many you get. So 1, 2, 3. See which team gets the most of those in. Okay, that wraps up week 32. Hope you enjoy this one. We'll see you back in week 33.